In the bustling port city of Alexandria, founded by Alexander the Great in 331 BCE, the air smelled of spice, salt, and ambition. Ships from across the Mediterranean docked here, carrying not only goods but also something far more precious: knowledge. And it was here, amid marble palaces and temples, that one of humanity's boldest dreams took shape: a library that would hold all the world's wisdom. The story begins under the Ptolemies, the Greek rulers of Egypt who inherited Alexander's empire. Ptolemy I, Soter, and his son Ptolemy II Philadelphus wanted more than political power. They wanted immortality through ideas. To them, Alexandria would not only be a center of trade, but also of learning. And so, the great Library of Alexandria was born. The vision was staggering. Imagine a collection of every known work: science, philosophy, history, medicine, poetry, assembled under one roof. To help realize this dream, the Ptolemies turned to Demetrius of Phalerum, a former Athenian statesman and student of Aristotle. He knew the value of collecting texts, and he understood how knowledge could shape empires. But the library was not just a building, it was part of something greater. The Mouseion, a kind of research institute where scholars lived, studied, and debated under royal patronage. Here, some of the brightest minds of the ancient world walked its halls. Euclid refined the foundations of geometry. Archimedes pushed the limits of mathematics and engineering. Eratosthenes calculated the circumference of the Earth with uncanny accuracy, centuries before Columbus sailed the seas. And the collection grew. Under Ptolemy III, an almost obsessive effort began. Every ship that docked in Alexandria was searched for books. Scrolls were seized, copied by scribes, and stored in the library. The originals were kept, the copies returned. Soon the library may have held hundreds of thousands of scrolls. Some estimates suggest as many as 700,000. To walk through its storerooms was to walk through the sum of human knowledge, from Homeric epics to medical treatises from Egypt, astronomical charts from Babylon, and philosophical works from Greece. But the library was more than a warehouse of texts. It was a living engine of discovery. Scholars debated, translated, and reimagined what they read. Greek thinkers encountered Egyptian medicine. Babylonian star maps were studied by Greek astronomers. It was a true meeting point of civilizations, a place where cultures collided and ideas fused into something new. And yet, from the very beginning, there was a shadow over this dream. The greater the treasure, the greater the risk of losing it. Fire, war, politics. These forces constantly loomed over the fragile papyrus scrolls. That shadow would one day fall. The Library of Alexandria would not survive the tides of history. And the story of its destruction, whether in a single catastrophic blaze or in slow decay across centuries, remains one of the great tragedies of human civilization. But before its fall, the library stood as a beacon unlike anything the world had ever seen. And in its rise and ruin lies a cautionary tale that knowledge, no matter how vast, is never invulnerable. The dream of the Library of Alexandria was magnificent, but fragile. And over the centuries, that fragility was tested again and again, until the greatest collection of knowledge the ancient world had ever known slipped through humanity's fingers. The first blow came in 48 BCE, when Julius Caesar, embroiled in civil war, set fire to ships in Alexandria's harbor. The flames spread beyond the docks, reaching nearby storehouses. Ancient accounts suggest that part of the library's collection was destroyed in the chaos. Even Caesar, master strategist that he was, likely didn't intend to burn history itself. But once papyrus meets flame, there is no undoing it. The library survived, at least in part, but it would never again be whole. 2 centuries later, in the 3rd century CE, during Emperor Aurelian's campaign to retake the city from Queen Zenobia of Palmyra, Alexandria once again became a battlefield. The fighting scarred the city, and with it, the library may have suffered further devastation. But perhaps the most infamous blow came in 391 CE. By this time, Christianity had become the dominant force in the Roman world. Emperor Theodosius ordered pagan temples closed, and mobs of Christians destroyed the Serapeum, a temple that housed what some historians believe was a daughter library. If scrolls had survived until then, many would have perished in those riots. Knowledge was caught in the crossfire of faith and politics. And then there is the most debated chapter, 642 CE, when Muslim forces under Caliph Omar conquered Alexandria. Later, sources claim that remaining texts were burned, used as fuel for the city's baths. But many historians doubt this account. It may be more legend than fact. By that time, much of the library's treasures had already been lost. So was the library destroyed in one great blaze? Or did it fade slowly, piece by piece, over centuries? The truth is, we may never know. What we do know is that humanity lost something irreplaceable. Works by ancient thinkers, poems, histories, medical knowledge, all gone. 1,000 years of human thought vanished into ash and dust. And yet, the legacy endures. The Library of Alexandria became more than just a building. It became a symbol, a reminder of the heights of human curiosity and the tragedy of its loss. It haunts us precisely because we imagine what might have been. How much further ahead would science, medicine, and philosophy be if those scrolls had survived? In 2002, that spirit was reborn with the Bibliotheca Alexandrina, a modern library and cultural center built in Alexandria itself. Its gleaming, sunlit halls are dedicated to preserving knowledge, sharing culture, and ensuring that the dream of universal learning never dies again. The story of the Library of Alexandria is not just about what was lost. It is about what we continue to seek, the pursuit of knowledge, fragile though it may be. And perhaps that is its greatest legacy, reminding us that wisdom must be cherished, protected, and passed on. Because once the scrolls are gone, there is no getting them back.